What's it like to be among the richest people in the world? Luxury yachts, noble villas, sports cars? We've all dreamt about it. But how do the richest people in the world really live? Today, we're introducing you to 5 very interesting and very wealthy individuals. We'll be diving into their day-to-day to figure out what life is like for someone with such a stupid amount of money. So for all this and more, stay tuned right here at Wonderlane. How might your life be different if you had this kind of money? What would you spend it on? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Let's get it started with number 5, Mark Zuckerberg. At the age of 23, Mark Zuckerberg received the title of youngest billionaire in the world. Now he's 36 and has amassed a fortune of $90 billion. Zuckerberg's wealth came from Facebook, the social network he developed and still runs today. Even though his life consists largely of work, Zuckerberg also places a lot of importance on spending time with his family and friends. His family consists of his wife, Priscilla Chan, whom Mark met during his time at Harvard, and their 2 daughters, Maxima and August. Together, the family lives in a mansion in Palo Alto, California, a community near San Francisco. Their house has a saltwater pool, a conservatory, and 5 bedrooms and bathrooms. Zuckerberg also has automated some stuff in his mansion, which allows him to control the lights, speakers, and temperatures by voice. Zuckerberg wrote the program himself as a part of this annual challenge thing that he does. Since 2009, the billionaire has been trying to master a certain task every year, whether it's learning Mandarin, becoming vegetarian, reading a book every week, or visiting every state in the US. He's actually achieved all of these yearly goals so far, but Zuckerberg spends his free time doing a couple of other things as well. Every morning he works out, which usually includes a long run. Zuckerberg also loves to travel, not only for business, but also privately with his family. His favorite destination is Hawaii. The billionaire and his family were taken enough by the quaint little islands to buy 300 acres of land, and they're currently building a massive estate. When he's not traveling or working, he spends most of his time with his young children. He insists on putting them to bed every night himself and reading them a traditional Jewish prayer. Let's move on to number 4, Warren Buffett. Through his investments in companies such as Freddie Mac, See's Candy, and Coca-Cola, Buffett became a multi-billionaire who now owns a fortune of $85 billion. However, the 90-year-old lives a surprisingly modest lifestyle compared to other billionaires. He still lives in the same home he bought in 1958 for just $31 grand. He doesn't have a crazy fleet of cars either, as he owns the Cadillac XTS worth about $46,000, which he bought only after long deliberations because he was satisfied with his 10-year-old Cadillac DTS. He's kind of an if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of guy. Together with his wife Susan, who unfortunately passed away, Buffett was always involved in good causes. He started with the infamous Giving Pledge, one of the largest philanthropic campaigns of all time. The Giving Pledge serves to encourage billionaires to donate a large part of their wealth during their lifetime instead of leaving it to charity upon their death. 137 billionaires are now part of the campaign, which enables gigantic donations. Buffett himself plans to give away over 99% of his wealth. Giving away this much money would explain the modest home and car. But Warren Buffett doesn't exactly eat like a king either. According to his own statement, he eats like a 6-year-old. For breakfast, the 90-year-old has a Coke, and every now and then, chocolate ice cream. At lunch, he often goes to McDonald's and grabs a burger and fries. In the evening, he typically goes to the local diner where he enjoys steak with croquettes or spaghetti. In terms of health, however, the multi-billionaire is doing just fine. And he is also a very happy person, as he finds much greater fulfillment in helping others than he would in indulging on the luxury items that he might otherwise afford. Moving on to number 3, we've got the only billionaire on this list who isn't American, Frenchman Bernard Arnault. He owns a fortune of $155 billion. He owns the luxury goods brand LVMH, which stands for Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy. In addition to fashion label Louis Vuitton and champagne producer Moet, the group also includes Sephora, Hublot, Dior perfumes, and countless other major luxury product brands. Arnault's fortune came about through the sale of luxury products, and his lifestyle is fairly luxurious as well. He owns a villa in Paris as well as an estate on Saint-Tropez. The billionaire also spends a lot of time at Chateau Cheval Blanc, his own winery, which includes a 150-year-old castle as well as 41 acres of vineyard. As is customary for a billionaire, Arnault owns his own super yacht, the 100-meter Symphony. It has a swimming pool, several bedrooms, a helipad, an elevator, as well as its own movie theater, massage studio, and spa. The $150 million yacht is one of Arnault's most valuable possessions, But this billionaire has plenty more to spend. One of his hobbies is collecting rare works of art from all over the world. Some of them he displays in his own estate, others he exhibits in a museum in Paris that officially belongs to the Louis Vuitton Foundation. Arnault also loves to play piano, and he's been playing since childhood. He's a great family man and spends plenty of time with his adult children, as well as his wife, Helene. Moving on to number 2, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Bezos built the online mail order company himself, becoming the richest person in the world for a time until he was just recently passed by Elon Musk. Bezos leads a life that consists primarily of work. He tends to try and get most of his important appointments out of the way in the morning, as that is when he is the sharpest mentally. When he's not busy with Amazon, the Washington Post, or his space company, Blue Origin, Bezos spends time with his family. He has 3 sons and an adopted daughter from China. Until recently, he raised the children with his wife, Mackenzie Bezos, who filed for a divorce when it was revealed that Bezos was having an affair with news anchor Lauren Sanchez. When this affair was exposed, Bezos changed things up a little bit. He moved into a penthouse apartment in New York, which he bought for $80 million. The apartment has a huge living and dining room, 5 bedrooms, and several spacious bathrooms. In the middle of the 2-story apartment, there's a lounge area as well as a 1,000 square foot terrace. The rooftop offers a spectacular view of the Manhattan skyline. In addition to the new apartment, Bezos also owns a $25 million mansion in Washington, as well as his own private jet, the Gulfstream G650S. His eating habits are also quite extravagant. When he goes to a restaurant, Bezos says that he always likes to order the most unusual food he can find on the menu. Last but not least, number 1, and another dude who spent a good chunk of time as the world's richest man, Bill Gates. The Microsoft founder now owns an incredible fortune of $120 billion. Bill Gates has been married to his wife, Melinda, for over 20 years and has 2 daughters as well as a son. The family lives in a massive villa on the lake in Medina, a small town in Washington state. Their home features a private library with a glass cupola roof, a pool with an underwater music system, a gym, a dining room, and a home theater. According to the New York Times, when Bill Gates wakes up in the morning, he runs on the treadmill for half an hour. This is followed by breakfast, which usually consists of reading the daily newspaper and eating Cocoa Pops cereal. Bill Gates revolutionized computing with Windows, but these days he likes to stay as far away from any technology as possible, and he spends a lot of time in nature. He plays tennis, golf, and is always exploring with his children. Gates has, of course, indulged in 1 or 2 luxuries in addition to the mansion. He loves art and actually bought the Codex Leicester, a collection of notes by Leonardo da Vinci, for $30 million at an auction. He also bought the painting Distant Thunder for $10 million and the nautical portrait Lost on the Grand Banks for $36 million. He also owns a small Porsche collection and is a big fan of the German car manufacturer. His diet, however, is a bit less typical for someone of his financial status. Gates loves him a good old-fashioned all-American cheeseburger, and he regularly orders from a restaurant in his hometown. He also loves Diet Coke, so much so that he has his own soda fountain stocked up with it. Nowadays, Gates spends less time with Microsoft and more time on his work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation is committed to eliminating dangerous diseases such as polio and improving the living conditions of people living in extreme poverty. That's going to do it for our video on the different lifestyles of a few of the world's wealthiest citizens. Don't forget to let us know in the comments what you're going to do with your first billion. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe to Wonderlane for more videos like this every week.